Although with like newer games, they're more multiplayer heavy
Oh yeah,
with a lot of situations.
for sure. They definitely are. Definitely, yeah. The way games are moving is definitely much more of a focus on online multiplayer.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Sure.
sure if the
Instead,
multiplayer works for Silent Hunter 4. If it still does, then, well, I guess it'd be fun just to operate as a group. Imagine,
That'd be pretty interesting.
although
Yeah.
for you, with your time constraints, I think without time compression would be a no deal.
No, yeah, it would be very difficult for
yeah.
sure.
Although I don't think the multiplayer would work like the campaign. It would be kind of like just putting you into like pre-made scenarios, I guess.
I would think so. Yeah, be more like a war game sort of scenario.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Which would be fun to see you just try and not aim torpedoes, because even I, who's gotten okay at aiming them, still struggles to get hits from time to time.
Yeah, fair enough. Would be definitely a skill involved, I would think.
Yeah, because not only do you have to get the range, you've got to get the heading of the ship, and the ship's range, ship's heading, ship speed,
Yeah.
and then you got to go through those again just to make sure everything's correct.
Yeah.
Then you got to cross-reference your your targeting data, and then you got to go through it again just
Right.
especially if something doesn't seem right, and then hope to God that when you do fire, you've got it all set correctly.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that once you do punch all the data in, you can kind of set a bit of a spread on the other torpedo so you can kind of make a net
Oh, okay, right.
without having to
Interesting.
tweak any of the other numbers.
That would make sense, yeah. Once
Yeah.
you've set one out and then...
Yeah, have
you
one on
a-
it with no spread and then have others out with spread.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Also, that doesn't help that the Mark 14s are kind of unreliable.
Right. Fair enough.
So there's a good chance that they're probably going to fail to have a failure of some kind before hitting the target, or you're really unlucky with the case with one US submarine, the torpedo actually came back and hit the sub
Oh, right.
and sunk it instead of the enemy.
Yeah, right.
You know, you
Crazy.
got a problem with your own torpedoes when they do a better job of sinking your own ships.
For sure. Cool. Are you doing any more of Fallout?
Probably, even though it's been a while since I've done the hunt for the Browning.
Yeah. A little while now. Cool.
Although I don't think the actual Browning would actually spawn in the world, because I've gone to a lot of places where I think it would spawn, and I've tried a lot of the merchants, but no luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I think it's either going to be something where I'm going to be like, oh, fuck it, and in the end just use the cheaty thing and just open up the storage inventory, which you can get access from the settings holotape, I believe.
Okay.
You can open up like an inventory of already weapons that are existing in that.
Mm,
Hell, I've already had to mod it to make it even more fun to play.
right.
And the one
Fair
mod
enough.
I had to get to fix the mod up was to replace all vanilla weapons with weapons from the mod. Because the vanilla weapons
okay.
are just completely garbage once you got this mod installed, because even the most common weapons you come across in that mod do more damage than even some of the late game weapons.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't sound very balanced.
Well, it's kind of balanced in the way of realism. Like, gunplay-wise, it's
Right.
not balanced, but in a more realistic sense, yeah, even a pistol would be capable of killing you in one shot in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it depends, how you want to play the game as well. If you want that, sort of very realistic gameplay, then it sort of, I guess, would take the fun out of going out into the world and trying to find those very specific weapons, because there wouldn't be the need for it as much.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there would be, because I like collecting it.
Well, yeah.
I think, haven't I shown you some the screenshots that I've taken from Fallout, where it's just these benches, and there's just tons of guns on top of the benches?
Yes. Yeah, you have shown me that a little while ago. What about you, Simon? What are you playing at the moment?
It's kind of a mix between Minecraft and a game called Sniper Elite.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Haven't you gone back to playing 4? Or are you
No,
still playing 5?
I'm still playing 5 here and there.
I'm not a fan of 5.
Yeah, it's an alright game, but they could have done a little
Oh, they
better
could have
to
done
really
a lot
do
better,
things.
in my opinion. There's a lot of things they could have changed to make it nice. It's a good game, but it could be better.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, you could say that about a lot of things. It could be
I think
good,
that's just
but it
the
can
way
be better.
Yeah, that's the way with gaming industry nowadays, is that at best, you're going to get a mediocre product, and at worst, you're going to get something that's completely unplayable. Just look
Yeah.
at Cyberpunk 2077 when it first came out.
That is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
Because generally, with those sorts of games, like Sniper Elite, Call of Duty, it is sort of just about getting the next release out. I think
Yeah.
at this point, where with Cyberpunk, that was a whole
That was a whole new bag of worms.
yeah. That's a real weird one. And I guess you've seen similar things with other games, but that was probably the one that took it maybe the furthest when it came to constant updates.
I'll say like Battlefield was at 2042.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
broken mess when it came out. I think it still is.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it gets more players than this one other game. I remember which one it was.
Right.
I think you got something wrong with your game if there's more people willing that are more currently playing a more broken game than your game. Either that or
guess
just
so.
people are stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's kind of the problem. People are more focused on quantity instead of quality.
Absolutely.
Although I think with a lot of, the circle I am in when it comes to the gaming community, they're definitely more, I guess, kind of more for quality than quantity. But I think that's actually with most people in the gaming community that are actually proper gamers, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though I guess I'm doing a little bit of gatekeeping here.
Yeah. I think a big thing as well sort of comes down maybe the good thing about it, some of these bigger studios sort of failing quite a lot over the past couple of years is that it does leave, I guess, a pretty big gap for the smaller creators to come through and be able to get their foot in the door and release
the indie
interesting
scene
stuff.
has recently it's actually go back like half a decade ago, the indie scene's definitely taken off.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there's some pretty cool indie stuff out there now, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in between all the large epic games.
Although I'm not sure where I kind of sit on War Thunder because War Thunder kind of sits in an interesting spot.
Right. How's that?
It's like, it's a good game, but it's also a bad game at the same time. And it's kind of weird how it gets that balance of where it's like, yeah, it's good, but it's also terrible.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's kind of in this weird kind of almost paradox.
Right. Fair enough.
Especially with the direction that the company is taking it. And I think and that's the biggest thing is it doesn't quite innovate because there's no real competition to it. That's the biggest thing I would like to kind of see is a game that comes out that can actually rival War Thunder.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Then that might kind of get guys to kind of change gears and actually probably try and make the game a bit more.
Yeah, a little bit of competition gives them a kick up the bum to try
Yeah.
and do something different. Or
I think the worst
improve.
thing is kind of the grind, especially once you get into the later tiers.
Right. Fair enough.
Like in the low tiers, like it can take you a couple of days even to get a tank in even the lower tiers.
Yeah, right. Wow.
And that's like if you're lucky and if you don't have enough silver lions, that's even more time to grind up the silver lions, which
Right.
and I think that's also another problem. And probably the biggest thing I do not like about War Thunder is how it's kind of been monetized in a way.
Yeah.
Because if you don't buy a premium account, it does kind of like half what you get. So you can get more with like a premium account, so that incentivizes they're throwing money at it.
That's interesting.
So the grind's a lot more bearable if you're willing to throw money at it.
Yeah.
At that point, if you're going to buy a premium account, you might as well buy the premium vehicles, which I think also get a nice boost to gains of research points and silver lions.
Interesting. Yeah, that is definitely a big thing that's come about over the past sort of 5-6 years as well. Is that sort of games that are
More buying thing.
Yeah, you got a lot of the more in-game purchasing, and then obviously you look at things like Fortnite and stuff like that, where so much of it it's more like cosmetic than actual like gameplay.
Yeah.
Well, although in the case of War Thunder, it does affect gameplay from
Yeah.
not only an economy standpoint, like not only do the premium vehicles give you allow you to rack up more
Yeah.
research points and science than you could with like a normal tech tree vehicle.
Yeah, so that is definitely where it sort of stands out a little bit more. Where going the
Not
premium
only that,
route.
but although some of the premium tanks are kind of broken.
Right.
That's not to say some of the tech tree tanks are also broken, but
Yeah.
there's some premium vehicles that are like that bad that they're basically
Right.
useless, and then there's some that are overpowered that you just see people just spam them.
Yeah. Right. It's interesting.
Although I used to hate people that used to run premium vehicles, but them kind of looking back at it, I think that was just me being a bit salty.
Yeah.
Because I think, with the premium vehicles, it just makes the grind a lot more bearable, especially if you
Fair
get one
enough.
that's really well balanced.
Yeah.
It's not too well overpowered, but not underpowered, because what's the worst thing than spending, 50, or in some cases up to almost $100 for a
Well,
vehicle
yeah.
that's complete crap.
Yeah. I guess in that sense, you sort of are getting a benefit for paying the money. You get it. So on one hand, you have more the Fortnite Apex style where you're just getting cosmetic upgrades which don't do anything, but then you have something like War Thunder, or even like Magic the Gathering Online, where you're forking. You can play it without ever spending any real money, and you can get into the game pretty well. But if you want to get to the more elite levels, you're having to fork out a little bit of money for to buy more packs so you can get better cards and things.
Yeah,
for
no,
your deck.
and I
So,
think it's just kind of an issue that's not going to really fix itself.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
pay-to-play
Pay-to-play.
situation
Yeah.
is kind of a negative.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's not. War Thunder is not that bad when it comes to pay to play,
yeah,
but it's kind of like the incentives there to pay and that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because video game companies will need to have that money to sustain themselves in
Yeah.
one way or
Not only
another.
that, but I think some of
Absolutely.
the directions they've taken in some of the updates, and I think some of the YouTubers that have covered War Thunder topics have probably done a better job than I could ever do. So I'd recommend checking out the people that have probably got more experience with War Thunder than I do. Don't get me wrong, I have a fair bit of experience, but not enough to say that I'd be a definitive expert on it.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Especially considering I don't have gotten as far into the tech tree as they have.
Yeah,
Like I said, I'm starting to finally get into maybe mid-war tanks, mid-Second World War tanks, which is like
right.
rank 2 or 3.
Cool.
I think there's like up like 5 ranks or something like that, and like rank 5 is
Right.
like present day vehicles. So
Okay, interesting.
where the ranks in between that is kind of like getting into the late Second World War, early to them, late Cold War, then present day.
Yeah, okay.
So you can see, don't get me wrong, I've put in tons of time, but I haven't made much progress. I think I would have made more progress if I've just stuck with one nation and just grinded out just the one tree.
Yeah.
But I tend to kind of have a wide range of maining.
Yeah,
And I'm starting to kind of main other nations now. I mean, the
enough.
furthest I've probably made it is maybe getting into rank 4 with Britain,
Oh, okay.
which I gotta say was insufferable, especially in the low tiers.
Fair enough.
Don't get me wrong, if you know what you're doing, they're okay, but it's just early British tanks don't quite have the firepower. Don't get me wrong, when you get the Mark 9B shell for the 2-pounder, it's okay at that point.
Right. Fair enough. Cool. All right.
You don't really stand much of a chance until you get like the 6-pounder, the tanks coming with the 6-pounders,
Right.
or at least starting to get the more heavily armoured stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the one tank that I've actually probably done poorly in as the UK, even though it's my favourite tank, is the Matilda 2. It's like, it's got good armour, but its gun just kind of is a bit lacking.
Right. Fair enough. All right. Should we wrap this one up? Keep it short
I'll
and
say,
sweet.
well, we're going to talk about some other things, but I guess we can do that for another episode. So we're just going to have to, I'm going to have to grab you kicking and streaming back over to record another one.
Yeah.
Cool. It's fun having you back on for another episode.
And actually, this time it's an actual co-host instead of a guest.
Yeah. Well, it's good
Although,
to be back.
I don't think you're going to be like a super regular co-host, so it should have been better off to introduce you as a guest, but
Yeah. I'm the not so special.
no, you're the somewhat regular co-host.
Yeah. for sure.
Although my question is, I'm going to even remember to do the pronouns because I think isn't that like a requirement nowadays?
Only if you want it to be.
Yeah, and it depends on who you ask.
That's it. Cool.
Although I think it would just be fun to do that as like not a joke, but
Just as like a conversation kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This episode
Maybe,
went in a completely different direction than I was expecting, but well, I guess that's just how it rolls sometimes.
Yeah,
That's it. Cool.
that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Wow. I'm trying to remember the last time I heard that.
Just
All right.
now. That was the last time you heard it.
Before that.
Cool. All right. Do you want to sign us off?
Oh yeah, I'm the host after all, so I guess it is sort of my job.
Part of it.
Well, shit, where do we begin? I would say that's probably the best thing to say while wrapping up the episode.
Well, all the general stuff. So
I'm not sure if we'd have a Patreon by the time this episode comes out. So maybe to go to our Patreon if it's
If it's up and running
Yeah.
by then.
hopefully it is.
Yeah.
Though it's been in
But
the
if it
works
isn't,
for like
then yeah, we'll have to let everyone know about
it's like been in the works for like months now, and
it's
it's
been a
like
while.
actually when did you start working on the Patreon?
Not sure,
Wow,
but
I think wasn't it like early August, and we're in
September.
late
Now.
September.
Yeah, late September now.
yeah, be around there, August. Anyway,
And it's only like what, about 5 or 6 months after we started making stuff.
yeah. Well, if there is, you'll be able to find it
Yeah,
in the description.
yeah, hopefully.
Um,
That's also a funny thing is like I wouldn't mind getting my pair of like old German field headphones and just plugging them in and using those and having that in the equipment. Like that'd just be funny, but I'm not sure how well like 1940s headsets would interface with the what we have over there.
The more modern technology.
yes.
Well, I guess
Not
it
sure.
wouldn't. It'd still be somewhat compatible.
Maybe. I mean, they're designed for a different bit of equipment, so maybe.
Well, again, it wouldn't be hard to jerry rig like an adapter or something.
Possibly. All right. Go check us out on the social medias, all in description.
Although we need to be a bit more active on that.
Yeah.
We may even have to get, this co-host. I don't know why I just pointed at him because he can't see me point. So what's the point of that?
And remember, leave us a comment.
So I guess you're going to be, so we got, I guess James the audio man. And then we've got,
Simon, the not so special person.
yes, and also probably the manager of the social medias.
When did I become the manager of this stuff?
Well, you've just been promoted, so congratulations.
Yay, like that's gonna help me with anything.
We might get some cake on the way home just to celebrate your promotion.
All right. Cool.
Well, I guess, this is Briggsy. Well, of course, and I guess you can find me. I'm probably also going to be managing the things. Well, it's my job originally, but I just got busy with life and just haven't really done much. I think the only thing we've done for the Twitter is, wasn't it, only like promoted like one episode at around about the time we created the Twitter, and that's about it.
Maybe.
So I was about to name drop my personal Twitter, but no. Although it probably wouldn't be that hard to find.
Yeah.
Just note that I probably won't reply to you.
All right.
I'm not that active on social media anyway, so it's like, what's the point of me having it anyway? But
Fair
I guess
enough.
if you want to find me, one place you can find me is definitely at Twitch at Big Rigs for Days.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
With-
right.
Possibly with back in the day it was with a Z, but now it's with an S. But if one doesn't work, try the other.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll catch you next time.
So actually, where would they find you, Audio Man?
Oh, you can find me, my music stuff. I've dropped it before. It is JMS163. Spotify, YouTube, all the good places.
And I guess you don't want people finding you on social media.
No.
So yeah, don't go bothering him either.
Coul.
As I say, I think that's just the rule for him. Don't go bothering people.
And don't dox them.
Yes.
No. Cool.
Although I've been trying my best to bury that kind of info. Now saying that, I think I've just now sent out a chance to people to dig that up. Even though I haven't done a good job burying it. So I guess.
And in
I
case
guess
we don't see you, good evening, good afternoon, and good night.
and hopefully see you again next time. So I guess Briggsy out.